Greetings from Philadelphia.
And greetings from California.
Now, what the hell? Now, how did we reverse it?
Right. So yeah, I am in LA right now. I am here for the Cowboy Carter weekend. The tours, well, this is show 3 in LA of 5. So yeah, I'm here for the third show. It's tomorrow, and I am very excited.
Well, congratulations. I'm sure that's going to be fun and unique. Everybody seems to be having a good time there.
Yeah, I'm very much so ready. Can I show you how ready I am?
Sure.
Live show. Right. I'm ready.
Oh.
I am ready.
Oh, do you have a belt buckle?
I do, with a horse on it. You gotta get the horse too. So yes, I'm ready to giddy up. Let's just say that.
Well, I know this is something that you really enjoy, and I'm happy for you. I just wish I could have gone to that damn Mirror Ball tour but anyway, we ain't getting into it right now.
Well, actually, this time there's affordable tickets. The cheapest one right now is $85, so you can definitely go this time.
In Philadelphia?
There's probably one in the area. Like you have to probably travel. I mean, you could come to New York. It's an hour and a half.
To see a concert? That's asking a lot of me. That's asking a lot of me.
Well, leaving the house is asking a lot of you too. So
and I look, under certain circumstances, I'm willing to do it. I just moved. That means I need to be in my cocoon for another 6 months before I start going out again.
The concert is like, I think, May 22nd. So you have some time.
Oh, God, that's soon. Okay. Alex will move before he travels. That's the thing. I don't travel. If I like the area, I'm like, you know what? Let's just move. Let's just move. I don't do any in-betweens.
Okay. See, someone said, come to MetLife. They're going 5/29. So yeah, it's at the end of May. You have time.
Okay. All right.
And look, you can look it up right now on Ticketmaster. Somebody look it up in the chat while we're doing this show, y'all, and let Alex know the cheapest ticket. That is y'all's job in the chat right now. Because look, he didn't get a chance to experience the one and only Beyonce like I have for the 14th time. So we got to get him to go.
Well, honestly, though, if I'm going to go, I want to go to a tour that I want to see something I'd want to see. I want to see either greatest hits, maybe I'll like Act 3, but like everybody else, I'm not that into this Cowboy album. I'm happy for her. It's a beautiful piece of worth it art. It's valuable art. But I only have so much in these feet at 42. I got 2 hours of standing in me. Not for no concert I don't want to see. Now, if we're going to go back to bills, and jumping, I could do it. I could use my knees.
First of all, that Cowboy album, way to marginalize, fine. But there's actual seats at this tour. You don't have to stand up like I am for this concert. So yeah, there's actual seats, and there's cheapest one.
All right, I'm gonna think about it.
Oh my God, I love how. Let me just give people the behind the scenes. I am not at my place right now, so I'm trying to be respectful of the space. So yeah, that's why it sounds like I'm probably checking my voice like I'm in a library. So yeah, enjoy the show though. Enjoy the show. And before we get,
mean you're not funny.
Exactly. Like I'm in Janet Jackson era voice now. I'm on my Janet Jackson. See, somebody said 117 at MetLife. Anyway, Before we get into the show, I just want to wish a very happy birthday to Karen Huger, who's currently serving her time in Montgomery County, what, prison or jail? I
County
think it's
prison.
county
County
prison. Thank
jail. County jail. No,
county
county
jail.
jail. You're right. You're right. County jail. State prison,
Mhm.
county jail. And
Right.
city lockup.
What do you think she's having for her meal today?
Um, well, let's hope it's not any prison wine. I hope they're not going to tempt her with any prison alcohol, fermented fruit juice or whatnot. But I would say maybe like Martha Stewart was able to make jams and jellies and bread. So maybe somebody's going to sneak her a whole, oh, they got commissary. She got commissary. She still got commissary money. So she's going to have a candle and a hostess ho-ho. And this girl, imagine spending your 60th birthday going to BravoCon on Housewives, and now your 61st is in prison.
Well, 62nd. She's 62.
Your 62nd is in prison.
Yeah.
You know, I had a bad birthday, but I ain't never had one in prison. Amen to that.
Correct. Someone said, let's send Karen a cake with a file in it. I don't want to add more to her time.
Right.
But I can see maybe like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, maybe a bag of Cheetos, maybe a honey bun for her dessert, or maybe I'll give her like one of those little pound cakes they had when we were in like elementary school. Like they
Mrs.
just cut.
Freshley's.
It was a square pound cake that we just got as dessert.
Wow.
Well,
Toilet wine.
well, at least for her next birthday, she won't have to be in prison.
That's true. She'll be out in time for the holidays.
Right, exactly. And Jen Shaw probably. You heard it here first.
Jesus Christ. Jen,
Look.
that is crazy to think Jen Shaw is going to be out that fast.
Yep, they keep lowering her sentence.
She's going to be on the next season of Salt Lake. Do you want to see that?
No, I actually want to see her in jail longer. Yeah.
They getting her out fast. Well, we have some amazing news about another delightful duo who has a new show coming out. Kim Coles and Erica Alexander are giving us a podcast, Reliving Single. And I'm like, look, why can't y'all reboot the show?
Maybe it's coming.
I don't know if they're going to. I think Warner Brothers seems to be being, what's the technical term? A shithead about rebooting that show. I mean, it is the Black Friends. It was just as successful, but they wouldn't pay their actors. And now you won't let them reboot. Like, I know the only one busy is Queen Latifah.
Like Kim Fields is doing stuff too.
Oh, that's right. She's on the upshot, but busy. Kim Fields is busy-ish. You still had time for Housewives. I love you. I respect you. But we have to call a thing a thing. You still had time for Housewives for that tax debt.
Well, I'm really glad that we get to have their insight. Just like currently the actress Kristen Davis, she has her own podcast. Look, we watching Sex and the City episodes, and it's really good. Really good. She's having people from the show come on, and she's on episode 10 of the first season. We just get so many like behind the scenes facts and stuff. Like she hated the first 2 seasons. Like
I could see why, as an actress, she wouldn't enjoy it. It's because I could see it being very repetitive. And 2, you don't know, like, is this going to ruin me or is this going to be cultural zeitgeist? Because it's either one or the other with Sex and the City. There was no in between.
Right. Oh, someone said Equalizer and the Upshaws got canceled. Damn. Well, maybe they do have time. I mean, all Queen Latifah has just Girls Trip coming up, and that's it.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting how, like, Girls Trip 1 was like the birth of Tiffany Haddish. And now I think about Girls Trip and I just groan. Honestly,
Yeah.
Jada is just as unlikable.
Well, I actually like Jada, but now that you mention it, you said Girls Trip birth Tiffany Haddish. I would have got the Bobo. I'm sorry. I kind of wish for an Bobo. If it birthed Tiffany Haddish, get the hanger. I'm sorry. Anyway. Where can we go from that? I just don't like Tiffany Haddish. I'm sorry, y'all.
Father is the only place that I could think we could go after that.
Yeah, right.
Just in tune and in line from. But I feel like, okay, you already knew he had twins to the first baby mama. Then you knew he had 2 and another one to the second baby. When he gets down to 13 and 14 kids, how do you think he's going to have time? Somebody said he hasn't seen his daughter for a month. He forgot she existed. There's too many of them. When you have 12, 13 kids, you're going to miss a month. You're going to miss
who has
a
12?
month.
Who has 12 kids?
Nick.
I think he technically has 11.
Oh, I'm sorry. But still, you're in double digits, and you've been in double digits. If you have enough kids, and you know there's one more coming, you know there's one more on the way. When you have more kids than months of the year, and that's going to happen, you're going to miss a month. You're going to miss a month. You got fathers with 2 kids missing months, so I don't know what you thought was going to happen with 11. I don't know what you thought was going to happen with 11. She's number 7 and 12. Exactly. It's like that's timeshare parenting. You had timeshare schlong, so you like he wasn't around you every day as a man. So I don't know why you thought he'd be around every day as a father.
I really disdain Nick Cannon. He's one of the top 3 corniest N-words in the industry. I would say he's in that category with Jason Derulo, as well as Ray J. Those 3 corniest ninjas in the industry. Do y'all agree?
I agree. I definitely agree. In other news, more corny news, Jeezy has been threatened with jail time over divorce compliance because he refuses to put a Range Rover in Jenny Mai's name, according to the divorce decree.
Such a nasty divorce. Like, I really thought she found her happy ending with the black man. I mean, she thought she was different. She said it herself. I'm just saying.
You're just repeating.
Right.
You just saying what she said.
Right. I really feel for her, though. Like, he's really putting her through it.
I mean, I feel for any woman that goes through domestic violence. And, like, once you put your hands on somebody,
absolutely.
Lost all respect for you. But but this was definitely... There were definitely a lot of red flags from both ends where, like, y'all shouldn't have finished this up. Like, when she said, what did she say? Something about bark on the side. That's when, sir, you should have known you're not marrying a woman that respects you. You should have known that. And you also should have known I have no business getting married because I like to put my hands on people. But then before this all comes out, you want to sit down with Nia Long, another evil being. Nia Long will slap the shit out of anybody. And that's why she can't get no job. Nia Long tried to get into it with Sherry Return to Sender Shepherd.
I mean, can you blame her? I don't... Look... I want to hear Nia Long.
I'm gonna give Sherry Shepherd a pass.
I want to hear Nia's side. I've never known this. Really, Nia Long?
Mm-hmm.
I love Nia Long.
I fell out with Nia when in Love Jones she slapped the shit out of Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs needs to be slapped the shit out of.
Not on set. Not on set. Not on set.
I mean, she did say it was an accident, though.
It was not an accident. It was not an accident. Could I ever slap the shit out of you on accident? Could you ever slap the shit out of me on accident?
Well, it was on purpose.
You hit somebody?
Well, she was supposed to slap him in the script. She just slapped him too hard.
You did. I know people that do shit like that because they know they can get away with it. There's a special place for them. A special place. I can't mess with it. And especially when you're on set from one actor to another, that is a violation of a safe space, and that shows you're a true unprofessional.
Let's just correct the movie. They're saying it was Best Man, not Love Jones, because they will let you know in the chat.
That's fine. I mean, she was great in both, but like as an actor, I'm sorry, I'm not finishing the movie. Like, I'm ruining the project. You put your hands on me. You're insane.
Well, considering the Best Man franchise has been very successful, as well as the show on Peacock, which was actually really good. I was really surprised by that. But I'm glad Tay Diggs didn't quit.
I am too. That took a lot, though. That took a lot, because I'm sorry. I get hit by a co-star, I'm walking off. But, and you know what surprised me, News? Suge Knight has agreed to pay $1.5 million to settle a wrongful death suit filed by the family of the guy that he ran over.
Well,
I believe he has $1.5 million.
Well, I mean, didn't he own Death Row?
But he was always so cheap with Michelle A.
I mean, just because, Diddy's in jail doesn't mean he doesn't have money, right?
That's true. That's true.
So, yeah, I'm sure they probably just froze his accounts or something like that. Do they freeze your accounts when you go to jail? I mean, I wouldn't know this because
I wouldn't know.
Legal Eagles in the chat.
Okay, let's see. Because I've never like when I was doing military paralegal work after the sentencing, we were done with you. We sent you, because then you were transferred into corrective custody, so the corrective custody people would know.
Well, yeah, I'm glad he admitted fault. I mean, did he intentionally run him over, or was it an accident? I thought it was intentional.
It was intentional. It was intentional. That's why there was there could be a wrongful death suit for an accident as well, but I think that's why he's like, let me just go on and pay him. But 1.5? That's all you getting? 1.5? I'm worth more than 1.5.
Maybe that's all he had.
You better fight for more. 1.5. You didn't hit my car. Bronx is worth more than 1.5.
Well, speaking of legal matters, did you hear that Brian McKnight is suing Jaguar White? Why can't I say it? Jaguar Wright.
Because she's wrong. That's why you can't say it. Because she's wrong.
Yes.
Brian McKnight needs to worry about the children that he doesn't want to claim from his black wife. That's what Brian McKnight needs to worry about. Brian McKnight needs to worry about the fact that you have alienated your black lady fan base because you have empty concerts. That's what you need to worry about. Why are you suing a woman that we all know ain't there?
True.
Jaguar White has been out to lunch so long, she's missed dinner.
I mean, I wouldn't take anything she says seriously, but also when Beyonce and Jay-Z, they didn't even bother suing her. They threatened Piers Morgan for putting her on his platform because they know that she's not right. Jaguar Right in the head. She's not right in the head.
And so you sound foolish and look more foolish going after the homeless woman singing dum dum de day outside of the corner store. If she like that woman will cuss you out good and cuss you out mean. All you do is say that's sorry, old Miss Meg, and keep walking about your day. The fact that you're going to sue her lends credence to what she said. What you know about you?
Apparently he's related to her, well, to his wife, his ex. I can't remember.
Oh God. How appropriate.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh my God. That's very appropriate. I just, yeah, that seems like it would run in the family. Mhm.
Well, she said that she's related to Brian's ex. It was probably a lie.
You know, exactly. Like, who's listening to her and giving credence?
Mm,
She had her broken clock moment. Now we all done moved on.
yeah. Because what does she have, like, to sue for? You can't
I,
lock her up for lying. Can you get locked up for lying? I mean, on the stand you can, but
yeah, you would have now. Yeah, unless you commit perjury, you can
right.
say whatever you want. And also, because she is a nutcase, you haven't lost any business opportunity because of what she said, because no one credible is listening to her. So you have to lose something for somebody to sue.
Right.
And speaking of suing and losing something, Jussie Smollett, he who has finally settled with the city of Chicago.
Wow, the saga is actually over.
From April 2019 to May 2025, 6 years.
Somebody in the chat said, speaking of liars.
Yes, speaking of liars, 6 years, and we still look at you kind of like Jaguar Wright. We don't know what's going to come out of your mouth, but we don't believe it.
6 years of Smollett.
How do you feel now that it's finally over?
I think we can exhale.
We've been waiting.
Right. So he doesn't owe them any money.
So the settlement terms are private, but you lost your TV show. You lost your house in Los Angeles because you had to pay lawyers. You've lost your career.
Well, he still has a little bit of a career left. Like, he's still, like, making movies or producing, I think, behind the scenes.
He did that. He's done a couple of things behind the scenes, but it's like you wanted to be a star. You were signed to Columbia Records, and then they dropped your ass. And I don't know who dropped you, but I know they are filled to the brim with glee. I know they're like, oh, Lord, the bullet Columbia Records dodged.
I agree.
Jussie won,
Oh,
but at what cost? I mean, sorry, Google put your messages out. We all knew you was at the bathhouse with the brothers.
Bathhouse with the brothers.
Bathhouse with the brothers. I mean, that was part of the evidence of the case.
Mm. Well, I'm glad this is behind us, and hopefully the next time his name is in the news is for his acting or his talent. But I want to segue to one of his former co-stars, Terrence Howard, and what he's been saying. Have you been seeing that art? Like, I've been trying to ignore it when he was interviewed, but he said something about having the chance to play Marvin Gaye, and he didn't want to because it would require him to kiss a man. and he would rather tear his lips off or something like that.
Yes. Well, trust me, don't nobody want to kiss you or that button penis either. He
Yeah,
got
you
a
can
high
see it.
booty. He got a high booty and a button penis. Don't nobody want to be topped by you. You're mad you can't be a top. You're mad because you have a clitoris and a high booty. I'd be upset too. I would be upset too. That tall and light skin with the clitoris.
Someone said that he wasn't acting when he was playing Lucius.
I believe that. I believe I've seen him once in real life and he looked angry. He was smoking a cigarette outside of a bar on 44th and 9th where I used to live, and he looked angry. And I
It's
was like,
probably
"Man, you on Broadway. Why are you angry? I know you're getting a good rate."
it's probably the suppression of homosexual desires.
With an ass like that, I know you bottom. With an
I
ass
never
like that, I know you bottom.
I never paid attention to it.
He did some nude scene in some movie. That's how I found out he had a button penis.
Oh, Get Rich or Die Trying. I think he got in a fight in the shower or something like that.
Yep.
And
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 I
it's
was like,
wee big, wee
girl,
big.
how would you? I would never. That's something I'd just be like, no, I'm not going to do any nude scenes. But you walked out with your clitoris in front of everybody, and we've been laughing ever since.
Well, I'm sure there's other actors that can play Marvin Gaye.
Right. Actors that can, I don't know, sing. I think if you're going to play Marvin Gaye, you need to be able to sing. Get somebody else from Empire. Ain't none of them working. Ain't none of them working. I
Wait,
say that
Taraji working, ain't she?
she's the only one.
Mm-hmm. Well, Boo Boo Kitty, she's working.
Boo Boo, she stay in Marvel shit. She took her ass right on over to sci-fi and has been staying there ever since. And that's where I like to see a black woman in sci-fi. We need more.
Yes.
I like Boo Boo Kitty though. I wish they hadn't canceled that one show she was in where she was the screaming heifer.
The Screaming Heifer.
What show was that? There were twins. It was good. It was a good show. She
I
was a
can't
super
recall.
everybody had superpowers, and so you really couldn't tell if she was evil or if she wasn't evil, because you think she was evil for a minute, but then it seems like she's on the good guy side. Legion.
Legion. Oh, well, look.
Aaron's clitoris Howard.
And she was in Harlem.
Oh. I was talking about the shows that she was in that people watched, but people
my God. That's probably why it got canceled.
My real gripe is it shouldn't have been on Amazon. People go to Amazon for shopping, not for TV.
I would say there's a few shows on Prime that are really, really great, and everyone goes to them for. I love The Boys.
I was sad about that Willow show.
The Willow show.
There was a movie Willow, and they tried to make it a TV show, and it didn't really take off. Okay, I watch Prime. I'm gonna start trying to watch Prime more. I'm gonna start trying.
There's a lot of good shows on Prime.
My dog just caught a fly.
Wow.
He's incredible. A fly will get in here, and it's like how he has his fun. Oh God, don't bring it over here. No, he ate it.
Well, moving on. Yeah. So what about this Atlanta mid-season trailer?
I think they brought Phaedra in to try to make Portia likable. Because I think they realized that "I'll fuck your husband" comment after you just got through stealing somebody's husband, it's not the look. It's not right. Who wants to be friends with a woman where it's like, oh, we have a falling out, you gonna try to sleep with my man? It's just it's like Portia's brain. It's high school and it's immature.
Well, I didn't mind the mid-season trailer. I think the season is great so far. I do think Phaedra again was used as stunt casting, and I think they're overplaying their hand adding her to the show just because of her performance on Traitors. So I'm not sure why she's being added to these shows like Dubai and Married to Medicine and Atlanta. Like she's some type of like last ditch effort to make the show interesting or for people to watch. But yes, they're banking on Phaedra in the mid-season trailer. I hope she's more interesting than she was on
I
Married to
think
Medicine.
I think they're using Phaedra because Kenya isn't likable.
Kenya?
Isn't likable.
Kenya is likable. There are people that are not watching now because Kenya isn't on the show.
People like Kenya in this capacity, but did anybody like Kenya on Girls Trip? Is Kenya?
Yeah. I think they did because the way she was reading Ramona, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Oh, all right. All right. And she did go after Ramona. I'll let her have that. That was a good moment because Ramona's off the show.
Well, there's some people saying Kenya isn't likable. I was like, oh, I mean, I thought there was a lot of people that liked her.
I don't know. I mean, could you see Kenya in Dubai?
Like
we saw Phaedra in Dubai. Because we all know she ain't over there with no man. Now we know Phaedra's over there selling it. But we know Kenya ain't over there because she can't give it away.
I mean, that's a good point. Like Kenya wouldn't work on other shows though. I guess one of Phaedra's strong traits is she's adaptable to her environment. And we've seen that in Traitors.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that is a really good point. Like, I guess not all like housewives can be adaptable like that. I think Cynthia has that same adaptability too.
Yeah, Cynthia could hang out with the Beverly Hills girls and be real cool.
So I see what you're saying. It's not about her being likable. It's just about her adapting to a new group from show to show to show or something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't see Kenya being a good fit. Phaedra, especially because Phaedra's trying to rehab her image, is trying to be a good fit. But Phaedra can give nothing on many shows. Exactly, Timothy, because Phaedra gave on Traitors, but like the other little cameos, I think it was just like, okay, we're going to bring her back. And, she's got those Phaedra fanatics. So they will tune in. And it's like, okay, we're bringing Phaedra back. Ooh, there was a scandal. And it's a way for Bravo to make money off that scandal.
Right. So what else happened on the what else happened on the trailer was Portia filming with Ralph. Portia's like, two can play that game. Heifer. I thought that was highly inappropriate for her to be talking about sexual things with Ralph, being that Drew didn't even do that. Drew was just recording her album with her, Portia's baby dad, who she don't even like. This is gonna be a hard season for Portia.
It's just, and then also it shows that's all Portia has to offer is sexuality, no intellect.
Well, also Britt versus Kelly. They're friends right now, but everyone's wondering like, why aren't they friends anymore?
I think because we don't know what is wrong with Britt yet, but I think we will find out at the end of the season. But I feel like Kelly is actually genuine and supportive. So I'm really wondering, like, what did Britt do? Because Kelly don't seem like she's in it for the drama. She's like, I got actual real shit going on at home. I'm trying to make a check on this show and get my waffle word out. I can be supportive, but I don't need this effort. I think that Britt could be two-faced, and I think also Britt is desperate for a moment to try to be Queen Bee on this show. And it's like, you might have gotten rid of Kenya, but that doesn't make you a star.
Yes, and Brit is an asshole. And someone said, "Girl, that 2 minute noodle ass friendship." Well, I would agree. Also, speaking of friendships, Portia and Shamia, they finally get into it. That's been bubbling like all season. It looks like we have Angela to thank for passing that word along to Portia. And I'm not even mad at Angela because Shamia was talking behind her back when she was actually being there for Shamia. Did you notice that? Because Shamia would be talking about Angela to Portia.
Hmm. And so I thought it was Britt that showed Portia that Shamia was sending the text messages, not Angela. I
Well,
thought it could have been in a voiceover where I thought I heard somebody else, but I thought it
well,
was.
in the scene, we saw Angela telling Portia that Shamia has a problem.
Oh, okay, Shamia is seeing. Okay, now that scene at the pool with the lopsided friendship. Okay, I was
Yes.
thinking about Britt telling Portia about the text messages.
Yeah, that was another scene too. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like Portia's jealousy of Shamia's happiness is shining through, and so the friendship should end. I also feel like Portia ain't adding shit to the show, and the friendship should end. Y'all want to be friends in real life? Be friends in real life off camera. You're not interesting on camera.
They banked a lot on Portia being the what do you call it, the anchor of the season, and it's not her. Definitely not her.
It's becoming Angela. She's the new fan favorite.
Yeah, and speaking of Angela, her husband is mentioned in some way in the end of the season. Something happens. I'm sure it's going to be nothing.
Yeah, because she came out on an interview and said the guy that had a baby on her was her first baby daddy who's dead. That's what she said. She just recently said on an interview, Charles did not have a baby on her.
It was her husband before that.
It was her husband before that. Her daughter's father, who had since passed.
Also, that's interesting. How old is Angela Oakley? You can't even, I Googled it, you can't even find it.
See, I'm proud of my age because I look damn good for 42, so it's fine. It's fine.
Like, I really don't know if she can be late 40s, early 50s.
Early
She
50s.
could be a good 60. But Google it, y'all. Like, I do not know her age.
50, 55. I was going to say she's giving me early 50s, maybe a very well preserved late 50s because she got, good preservation money. She's got, going and two, yeah, if you want to look younger, just go vegan for a month.
Ugh.
It's but I'm telling you, you will look in the mirror and be like, what the hell?
If I went vegan, I would die.
Okay, you can still eat like chicken breast, but like just chicken breast you prepared, like no nuggets or anything. Like if you have to have a stronger protein. But I'm telling you, like your eyes and skin, it's like, wow, I really need to stop eating bread.
Someone in the chat says she says she's 42. Now, Angela Oakley is not the same age as Alex. That I would rather her say that she's 55 because she looks good for 55. But if she said she was 42,
that's a hard 42.
That's a brick 42.
Hard,
brick 42.
Hard 40. Yeah, no, you don't want that at 42.
I remember someone said, as you get older, you need to just lie about your age. Like, lie up.
I will take 50 in a hot minute. I will take, like, yeah, I'll ask people, like, how old do I look? And I'm just like, somewhere in there. But yeah, I will allude to being 50 in a minute now because it's like, yes, and I'll still look like this.
Yeah, actually, I was at work the other night and I was talking about something that happened in 2003. And the guy was like, oh, wow, how old are you? And I was like, I'll be 40 in July. He was like, wow, I was born in 2003. I was like, oh my God.
Ooh,
Right.
oh God, when that happens.
Yeah. Anywho, we look good for 40.
We do. Just go on and make sure you got your sun hat.
Now, see, you know what that hat reminds me of? You know that guy from Get Out?
Oh,
When he
God.
got,
We're not letting him ruin Panama hats.
that's what I think of when he was like in the sunken place, that guy who was trying to warn the other guy.
Well, I'm trying to warn about skin cancer and protecting ourselves from UV rays at our age.
I know. It
But
just reminds me of that guy in Get Out, and he had that hat on. Anyway.
Oh, God. I'm not going to be able to see it now.
Right. I can't unsee it. But yeah, I'm excited for Atlanta still. Like, we're gonna have like what? They're on episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like 8 weeks to go.
8 weeks to go. And only a month or so until Miami.
What did you think about the Miami trailer? I did a video on it.
I enjoyed the Miami trailer.
4 destinations. 4 destinations.
They're throwing some money at that show, and I need that same money to be put into Potomac. At least we're going to Grenada in Atlanta, but yeah, I want more trips.
Yes, not to Nashville or Charlotte. Like, can we go to like London? Like, just for like a mini girls trip?
You know what though? Hold on. Is it Bravo being cheap, or is it them being like Nene, where it's like they just want to go to Miami, they don't want to get out of the time zone? Because I will say this, for a work trip, because when you brought up London, I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And I was like, wait, hold on. They're going to be filming you, because they say those trips are not fun. Those trips are work. I could see being like, I'm not going to deal with the 5-hour layover and have y'all trying to rush me out to dinner and all that. Fuck it. We going to go right up the road, stay on the same time zone.
Can we just stay in the same continent though? Maybe like Toronto, or they go to Mexico, or yeah.
Yeah, because they could do Mexico and that's only an hour back.
Right, like Cancun or something, but like Jesus.
Mexico City. Get some real shopping done in Mexico City.
Well, that's where Miami went for their cash trip last season.
Oh, and they can go this year. I want to see the real shopping in Mexico, because Hermes in Mexico has the most colors of any of them in the world. Mm. That's where you get the best scarves and the best bangles.
But you're definitely reviewing Miami, right?
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm going to join you this year.
Okay. And you're all caught up?
Well, no, I'm going to start doing last year's this month, or last season's this month. And so by the time I'm finished, because I'm doing catch up on The Last of Us, The Gilded Age. I don't know if you're going to do The Gilded Age, but that is one of the best scripted shows on TV. And Felicia Rashad is coming in this year, and I know you don't know, all the way to Baltimore. And now that I'm in Philly, I'm really close to Baltimore, so we're going to have to go to Be With the Wretched and have big fun.
What is The Gilded Age about?
It is about 2 high society families in New York. Well, 3 high society families in New York. You have the Russells, you have the Van Ryans, and you have the Scotts. The Scotts, they're a rich Black family in Brooklyn. The other 2 live on the Upper East Side.
Okay.
And Christine Baranski is playing the hell out of me. And Cynthia Nixon is playing the hell out of her.
Okay. I might watch The Last of Us before The Gilded Age, though.
The Last of Us is also excellent. It's giving a slower Walking Dead, though. Like, if I had to say which one I liked better, I'd have to say Walking Dead now. But it's got more to go. It's got more to grow.
Have you seen Sinners yet?
The Gilded Age is a way better show than people think.
Oh,
I have not seen Sinners yet, but apparently the people were in the town that it was set haven't seen it yet either because they don't have a theater. So they want him to come down there since it's where the movie was set and host a screening.
it's a good idea. The movie just hit 200 million. It's a success. I mean, I just haven't had time to watch it. And I didn't want to see a horror movie by myself, but I think I'm just going to have to get over that.
The Last of Us will. Yeah, it's vampires, so there's a way to defeat them. Just remember that.
Fine.
Like, here's the thing, I ain't afraid of you if you can't come in unless I tell you to come in.
Okay.
I don't leave the house. Now you see why I don't leave the house. Vampires. Never got to worry about
it. What else is on the docket?
Katie might be leaving Real Housewives of OC after an altercation with Emily and Gretchen. And I'm like, now look, we finally got an interesting Asian woman on the show, and y'all gonna run her off? Because Katie gave everything that Crystal didn't. Katie was poised. Katie made OC good that season. She stood up to Heather Dubrow and her hundreds of millions.
I hate that Crystal is now more interesting that she's off the show.
Hey, at least she's more interesting. At least she found her niche and found her place. At least, she tried something, it didn't work. She tried something else. That's life. Sometimes it's not the first thing you do, it's the third.
And speaking of which, I also hate that Garcelle started dressing great, and now she's not on the show anymore. Because her and Giselle were given the same fashions for a minute. There was one particular season where I'm just like, geez, she's too pretty to be wearing that.
It was that red wig for me.
The red wig.
Oh God, I hated that red wig.
Yeah.
It ruined everything she put on.
It's not for everybody. The red wig definitely helped Keisha. It helped Rihanna. Not Garcelle.
The red wig, that red is for a young. That red wig is from 28 to 32. That is what that color is for. That's that age in life when it works, when it twerks. And then it was dull. No, honey. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you were trying to do. Your stylist should be fired thoroughly.
She probably did.
Thank God.
But yeah, I don't watch OC still. I'm gonna try to watch this season, but
it is interesting because that is a show that it's still kind of the same after 18 years. You still have, you still got Tamra, you still have Sharon, you still have the same crones with the same problems.
And they're really not trying to add any diversity to the show.
Well, they've tried, and it's OC. There ain't no black people there.
Did they try?
Well, let's see. They've tried here's the thing. Whenever they try with a black woman, she's always off in a season.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I ain't sticking around with this. Or they tried with Noella. She seemed to be interesting. She was married to Sweet James, and then she kind of went mental.
Do we count Noella?
Look, that's what you asked. I
know, I'm kidding.
But exactly, she should stay white, in my opinion. Like Real Housewives of the Upper East Side. Sometimes it is appropriate to tell a white story because white people exist too. If you're telling a story about a white family, I'm not going to be upset that there's not quote unquote diversity. It's a white family. That's fine. That's what they're doing.
Well, Bershawn worked on New York more than Ebony did. I'm just going to be honest. It just seemed like she gelled a little bit more. She just wanted to have fun. I'm sorry. I like Ebony.
That's the thing. The point of Housewives of New York is to see women having fun, not to see women being educated on We Shall Overcome and sitting down to watch Eyes on the Prize. If we want to watch Eyes on the Prize, let's watch it. Eyes on the Prize is on YouTube. It's a great series. I grew up watching it. But I don't want to tune into Housewives and see somebody sat down for their first screening of Roots. I don't need to see that.
Oh my God.
Girl, and you know she would have pulled that out.
Here's the thing. I was so excited when I heard that Ebony was going to be on the show, and I was like, wow, like I've been watching New York since, the first season, and they've never been to Harlem. They finally go to Harlem, and it was like a boring episode. I think she had pamphlets on the table.
We both lived in Harlem. Are we going to get pamphlets on the table?
No. I was like, I don't know. I was just disappointed by that. And by that time, I was just like, damn. Oh my God. So have you seen this question?
Yes.
Who came up with this? 100 men versus one gorilla.
I do not know who came up with it. But...
Oh, I know who did.
Oh, you do?
I just can't say it on here.
Okay.
It's inappropriate, but anyway, continue.
God, I don't know. No, I'm really laughing.
It's such a dumb argument, but yeah.
Well, no, because I think it's like, okay, 100 men versus one gorilla. Have we ever heard of a village before? Villages in all over have dealt with bears, gorillas, snakes, lions, tigers, bears, and these are villages in Asia, in India, in Africa, wherever they have large predatory animals. In America, we had bears. So if villages have been able to protect themselves, as we all were humans, a part of villages once before we had cities and towns, them animals was around and so was we. We were always able to figure out how to set up a village where they wouldn't bother us. If they came in, we had some people that would scare them off, and that was that. So yes, clearly villages all over the world have defended themselves against predators for eons, because that's why we are still existing and we weren't eaten. Otherwise, we'd all be dead.
Natural selection.
Yeah,
Natural
so
selection.
we will always be able to outthink or trap an animal, even if no, we can't just go boop, 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 boop. We know we ain't doing that because we got brains. That's why we're at the top of the food chain at times.
At times.
When you get out the ocean, that time is up.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a cruise before?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Norovirus.
I did one, and now it's just don't want to do another one. The ocean just gives me anxiety. Just being in the middle of the ocean, nothing else.
How long were you on?
I went for my 30th birthday 10 years ago. Jesus. It was a Caribbean cruise to the Bahamas.
How many days was it?
I want to say maybe 3 days. I just remember going to the roof deck at night, and it was just darkness outside. It was just filled my anxiety.
I don't know what, it's so interesting how that freaks people out. I'm like, that's what, here's my thing. That's what it's supposed to look like. There's nothing out there. It's fine. It's just fishes. There's nothing in there in the dark that is not there in the light. It's when you start seeing lights that don't look normal. That's when you should be concerned. Not when everything is as it's supposed to be. When you're in the forest in the dark and you hear the animals and stuff, people are like, oh my God, that's creepy. No, it's creepy when everything goes silent, because then everything is being silent for a reason.
Not someone being messy in the chat. You didn't go on the Funky Geneva cruise. Is he hosting cruises now? I was just curious. Anyway, I shouldn't have read that. I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, he said he wants to get TGIF back together. He
Did
said he's
he?
watched so many episodes of Unsung that ego was a part of the breakup and he wants to get the band back together.
You know what? I think TGIF should have always been Claudia, Dustin, and Carlos King. Because Carlos King, you still got the messy sissy on the show. He's just more professional than a Funky Geneva, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you know, his theft is different. His theft is baked into the contract.
Okay. Well,
but yeah, that was interesting. And speaking of more interesting things, I'd love to do our WTF.
Oh, yes. I pulled up the article.
It took place in
Philadelphia. Yes.
And you know what? It was the kind of road rage I can get behind. Nobody got hurt.
Well, someone went to jail.
True. This woman said she was upset with the car behind her for trailing her. And so stopped, got out, and lifted her skirt and defecated on the hood of the car. I guess she was getting home because she had diarrhea and said, you know what? If I got diarrhea, you got diarrhea. If I got diarrhea, you got diarrhea. And squirted on the hood of the car. And everyone was just too stunned to speak.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, honey, she just shat. How does why are you going to call her a slut? That ain't got nothing. That ain't a loose puss. That's loose bowels.
It was captioned on video, unfortunately. I did not want to see that. But they said when police showed up, she admitted to it and even bragged it was a clean poop. I didn't even have to wipe. Verbatim. She's also
34.
This is also her mugshot. She is smiling. How old did you say she was?
44, I believe.
Yeah, I guess she looks like 44.
But you know what? Nobody got shot. Nobody got hurt. You can rinse that off.
Well,
and the thing is, the police didn't find out about it because the woman called and said someone shit on my car. They found out through social media.
Well, no one got hurt, but she is facing charges, several, including indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, criminal mischief, and more. So yeah.
Indecent exposure.
What a way to I don't know. You know, also, we did not talk about one of our headline topics. I guess that's how much fucks I have for it. But Misa, Hilton versus Mary J. Blige.
Over Vado.
Over who?
Over a rapper called Vado. So apparently, Misa Hilton was working with this rap artist called Vado and got him signed to Mary J's label. Mary J and Misa were apparently like sisters, like friends.
Yeah, they go back.
Yeah, they go back with Diddy.
Yes.
They all go back with Diddy.
Because Diddy enlisted her as Mary's stylist.
So Mary's rapping with this guy, and she's like, you know what? I don't want you to work with Misa anymore. So we're going to block your performances unless you come over and sign with me. So Mary is basically trying to steal this woman's artist, Misa's artist, and Misa's man.
Mary J. Blige is trying to take someone's man?
Looks that way, because apparently Misa and Vado were dating.
Man has a penis, man.
This is what this is the rumor. This is the rumor that it's not just business. And this is why Misa has sued Mary J for $5 million. And Charlemagne the God actually had a relevant question. How the hell is a Vado album worth $5 million in 2025?
I don't know. I mean, it's really sad because they've been friends for like what 30 years, and the breakdown of the friendship is over a man.
Apparently, a man or business.
Yeah.
He was the man who choked to Harry on Marriage Boot Camp.
Oh.
Yeah, because Vado has always been like a bubbling under the top 500 rappers.
I've never heard of this rapper at all.
It's very like 2000s, very always a feature, never an album.
Mm.
But that's who's broken up the friendship. That's who has caused stress and strife in the dancery.
Damn. Because I know like it used to be Misa, Lil Kim, and Mary J. Blige. So that's interesting.
Well, I think the trial was going to blow their friendship up because that trial starts Monday.
Oh my God, the Diddy trial does start Monday. Oh, well, it's a lot going to happen with that.
But I guess are those our topics?
We hit all the topics. I can't believe we almost missed that one.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I mean it's a live show, so yeah. Gosh, do we even have our See You Sooner thens?
Well, I will see you sooner than that gorilla sees 100 men.
Oh man. I will see you sooner than Phaedra tells the truth.
Ooh. And that's our show, folks.
Bye, y'all.